This is now my all-time favorite food. Soup and lakshan, chicken soup.
And don't forget matzo balls.
And matzo balls, right. And I have loved this since I was a baby. And I have to tell you just a little anecdote. When I was 3 or 4 years old, I was sitting and having a nice chicken soup at my aunt's house and crying. And my aunt asked me, Michaela, why are you crying? And I said, because it's so hot. And she said, so wait till it cools off. And I said, but I like it like this. And ever since, I cannot eat chicken soup unless it's boiling hot.
All right, Michaela, we'll give you boiling hot chicken
Okay,
soup.
so we're going to prepare now a traditional chicken soup. So what are our ingredients?
Okay, the first thing we have are chicken bones. And I'm going to tell everyone a secret from the Second Avenue Deli, although I guess it's not a secret if I'm telling you. A lot of restaurants will use, or a lot of home cooks will use bouillon. We don't. We use the bones, and this gives an amazing, amazing flavor. It also gives the soup a lot of body. You know, we have to have a soup with a nice body.
How many chicken bones are we using?
A pound and a half of chicken bones. I have some in the pot already.
All right, so again, we're talking about 6 or 8 portions. Okay.
And you can ask your butcher for some, or you could cut them away from chickens. Like the backs, the necks, the giblets, things that you might take off, you can just cut them away.
Put them in.
And a marrow bone.
And a marrow bone.
Yes.
A marrow bone. Oh,
Love
boy.
sucking on those bones.
Now, for people who don't eat red meat, we
omit the marrow bone.
omit the marrow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now,
so I'm putting this in, right?
I already have some bones in there, which
Okay.
I put in cold water. All right? And the reason I put it into the cold water was because I wanted to extract as much flavor as possible. I'm going to put in the chicken also, but the chicken I'm going to put in warm water, in boiling water. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want some flavor from the chicken, but I also want to leave some of the flavor inside the chicken so that we can have delicious chicken salad, boiled chicken. So actually now the water is boiling.
Okay.
So actually, you know, this chicken's been sitting here a while and some massaging.
Speaking of a chicken sitting for a while, that's good. You gave me the cue to my next
Look at
story.
that, we work so well together.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't even know. I'm going to just massage the chicken while you
you
talk.
massage the chicken?
Massage the chicken.
Oh, it gets like a massage.
Yes.
So you have to massage it. Anyway,
massage the salt in.
My
yes.
father used to tell a story about a lady who plucked her chicken. You know, in the old days, they used to take the chicken and you'd pluck it yourself.
Right. This is not what a chicken looks like when it's freshly slaughtered. It has feathers.
And you've tied the chicken
I've
up.
tied it
You've
up.
tied it
Not
up.
because I'm cruel or anything like that. I just wanted to keep a nice shape. I wanted to
Alas,
hold its shape.
Poor Yorick. I knew him well. So I put the whole chicken
Put
in,
the
right?
whole, don't throw it in though, gently.
You see, the story was that this lady took a chicken like this, plucked it, and put it in the oven, and left it there, and walked away. And about 2 hours later, she heard knocking from inside the oven.
Oh.
She came back into the kitchen, opened the oven, and there was the chicken, and the chicken said, in Yiddish, of course, lady, either give me back my feathers or warm up the oven, because I am freezing in here.
Oh.
So I'm going to put the whole chicken right
just put it
in the
right
pot.
in. Very nice. You did
How
that
did I
so
do
well.
that? Now, why would you not cut up the chicken?
Because it's going to fall apart.
Right.
I want to be able to take out the chicken.
Okay.
This is a parsnip,
1 parsnip.
beautiful parsnip.
Okay.
And the parsnip, I know you like your chicken soup sweet, right?
See, exactly.
and sweet.
Now, I come from the Polish
Well, parsnip is
tradition.
sweet.
Okay, and some, prefer their, how many carrots?
I put in 2 small carrots and 1 large, and I'm also throwing in some garlic.
Okay.
I know the peel is on it. It doesn't matter because we're going to strain it.
2 cloves of garlic.
2 cloves of garlic.
See, I love everything sweet, like sweet gefilte fish, sweet soup, sweet challah, because I come from the Polish tradition.
I'm putting in onion. I know the peel is on. I didn't forget. I'm not being lazy. The peel will give it a nice golden color. So that's the reason for
How many?
the peel. Well, 1 large or a couple of small.
Okay.
Nothing exact. And do you know what this is? Other than an ugly.
I'm going to take a guess. It's a vegetable.
Oh, you're very good. This is a celery root.
It is a celery.
And it has a nice, strong celery flavor.
Okay.
And to peel it, since it's so, it's not perfectly round or anything like that. It's just easier to cut the cut it off.
Okay, so this is 1 celery root.
1 celery root.
And I notice the pot now is filling up. It's almost going to overflow. Do we remove some water at some
No,
point?
but I'll show you what we're going to do. It's okay, because water is
Okay.
going to evaporate.
All right,
I'm putting in some whole peppercorns,
all right, little peppercorns,
about half a teaspoon of peppercorns,
right?
a bay leaf, which we're going to fish out at the end when we strain the soup, because you don't want to eat the bay leaf.
We don't want to eat
No.
it. Just 1 bay leaf, that's it?
1 bay leaf. We'll smell this.
Ooh,
It's
lovely.
very flavorful.
Yes, okay.
And 2 little cloves.
2 cloves.
2 little cloves.
Goodbye, little cloves.
Goodbye.
Now, what is that in the corner there?
It's a turnip. I'm going to put that in too.
Right, because that I remember my mom used to put turnips. And you don't cut you don't clean it?
You
or-
don't, it's
Yeah,
clean,
it's,
yes.
these have all been pre-washed.
Right, you don't have to.
Okay.
And you might notice I'm not putting salt in, not because I have anything against salt, but this chicken soup's going to cook for like 2 hours.
Right.
And the flavor is going to concentrate, and if I put in salt now, it's going to get only saltier.
Too salty.
So
Okay.
we will put the salt in at the very end. And the
Alright.
dill will be at the end too.
And we have dill at the end.
Now,
My mom also.
Can you just, while you tell me this, can you just hand me that bowl?
I sure
And
can.
because while you're talking, I want to show you. Do you see all this stuff on top?
Right.
Okay, we are going to skim it.
Okay.
And
I
we
think
only-
somebody's coming to arrest me for putting that chicken in the way I did.
Oh. Well, the chicken, it's not that the chicken was too cold, it's not looking for its feathers.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just
So you're
skimming.
skimming off the
this,
top.
This scum, it's, little pieces of feathers that may have that may have still been on the chicken.
Right.
And some of the proteins, and this is the scum that just floats to the top, and we want to get rid of, because we want it to be a perfectly clear soup.
I was going to ask you about that. How do you get the soup to stay clear and
Okay.
not foggy
So one of them is, we'll only have to do this once or twice while it's cooking.
while it's cooking? Okay.
The other way we're going to get it very clear is by not boiling it. So actually, when you said you like it boiling hot, that
Right.
word wasn't 100% correct. You like it very hot, but not boiling.
Right.
Because once this comes to a boil, we're going to let it simmer. Simmer means, if you think of boiling as hysterical laughter
Okay.
on the surface of the water, boiling is like little giggles.
Like giggles,
yes.
giggle. So
All right.
once the soup comes to a boil, we
Yeah.
watch it and then we put it on a simmer,
A simmer, just a low flame.
and then
so
it
just a
remains
little-
simmering
for a
until
couple
it's
of
ready.
hours.
Okay.
But when the chicken is ready, after an hour, we're going to take the chicken out so that we can have delicious chicken and let the bones still cook. Now, I'm going to give this to you.
Okay.
And we have some soup that was made. And
So this eventually
let me
will
br-
look like this.
This will look like that. And let me just bring this over there to get this
Okay.
out of the way. And we'll continue cooking it.
How am I doing so far, by the way?
This is going to be
As
the
it-
best soup because you're my helper.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, let me bring this over here.
So we've got the soup itself.
The soup itself.
And we have also put in, we haven't actually,
Oh, we
but-
didn't put in flanken
Right,
here.
I was gonna ask you about
I
that.
have flanken in this soup.
Okay, because I love
And-
flanken, which is
oh, we have flanken, don't worry.
also called spondere sometimes, suppenfleisch, and it's basically
wait, Zuppenfleisch?
Zuppenfleisch, meat of the soup, but it's also known as short ribs, right?
Right.
If you purchase it,
Flanken,
you're
short
buying
ribs.
short ribs.
Okay, so you see, because the chicken was whole, we can get big pieces out.
Right.
All right, so let me just take out some of this chicken, and we can use that for chicken salad. We can have boiled chicken, soup chicken. We're going to use, we can cut up pieces, put it in the soup.
Now, because we had the chicken tied the way we did, it will not fall apart.
Right. This one was
Okay?
not tied.
And there is the flanken.
Here's the flanken.
Right there. You know, my mom
you
and
like
grandmother
flanken.
also sometimes would put in a tomato
Ooh.
in the soup. She would sometimes put in celery and sugar,
Sugar, really?
Yeah.
I have to try that.
because I loved sweet soup.
Now we're going to strain this. I have a ladle here. We're going to strain it.
Okay. And now, why are we straining it?
Because we want to get we want it to be perfectly clear. We want any of the sediment out.
Okay.
And Let me get this out of the way and that out of the way, and I have some already strained soup.
And
And
burnt.
at the very end, we also put some dill in. So I'll put the dill in here. It only has to be in there for like 5 minutes. I tied it so we can just pull it right out.
Okay,
Okay, why don't you bring me that mixing bowl?
here we go.
I like having someone to boss around and ask to do things.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay,
Here we go.
all right. I need the eggs.
All right.
You could just dump that in the pot,
The eggs in the
bowl.
4 eggs?
4 eggs in
4
the bowl.
eggs. We are now making matzo balls.
Matzo balls.
Okay.
And can I have the schmaltz?
The schmaltz.
The schmaltz.
Now,
And we're going to make schmaltz.
schmaltzy matzo balls.
Now,
Pour it in there.
you can use oil, but why would you? You're going to pour in 1/3 cup of schmaltz. Go
A
ahead.
third of a cup of schmaltz.
It's-
Schmaltz being
Chicken fat, rendered chicken fat.
rendered chicken fat.
And it is just, it's to die for. I think it's,
But you could
Jewish
use
heaven.
oil if you want a little less schmaltzy.
if you want it to be totally assimilated, use some oil.
And that's the secret to fluffy.
Well, no, this is the secret. That's
Fluffy
one of the
matzo balls.
secrets. That's one of the secrets. Oil or schmaltz, but also the schmaltz gives it more flavor.
Now-
But I'm putting a tablespoon of baking powder in.
1 tablespoon of baking powder, because there's also the 2 different styles of matzo balls. There are some who are addicted to hard
While you're talking, I've got
matzo
a cup and a third, 1 1/3 cups of matzo meal, which is
1
ground up
1/3.
matzah. You could
And that
just
goes
put
in
that
there.
in.
And there are those like myself who prefer fluffy matzo balls. So it's
Well, my father taught me something very important. He said that I once made matzo balls, which I threw in the garbage because they were really hard. I happen to like them hard, but most people
why don't
don't.
I help you with that?
Well,
May-
I
may
already have some already done,
Oh, okay.
and I need you to just wet your hands.
Wet my hands.
Wet your hands. And he got very upset when I told him that I threw them away. He said, fry some onions, some garlic, and fry some onions and garlic. Wait, while I tell you the story, you're just going to take in the palm of your hand, your
Right.
wet hand, and make little balls
Little balls.
and put them in that pot of boiling water,
Well-
and then we're going to let it simmer.
Okay, so I take like this much,
A little more. They're
Little
going
more.
to expand.
They will.
Remember, there's
'Cause that looks
baking powder in
that
there.
looks small to me.
Well, look how much bigger they are in the pot.
They will actually
They will actually expand.
expand, okay.
He said, fry up some onions, some garlic, take the matzo ball, slice it, put it in the fried onions and garlic, and serve it as a side dish with the brisket, and nobody will know that it was a mistake. So I never admit to mistakes. I just
How's that?
recreate them. Well, it's a little tiny.
Tiny? Oh, wait, I'll add a
I mean,
little
we're
more.
having all this company for Shabbos, so if
Okay.
you want a little
Little more.
more.
Little more, okay.
All right, and we're just going to put it in the water.
Okay,
And after each boil, if the water stops boiling, let it come back to a boil.
okay. So we already have some that have
We already have some, and
expanded.
would you like some soup?
I'd love some. So
So
all right,
would I.
let's just recap here. We have the chicken soup we've made, the matzo balls. You have already prepared the noodles, right? That's simply buying the noodles and boiling them, correct?
Correct.
So we have
And-
the chicken soup, we have the matzo balls, we have the noodles,
I put some of
we
the
have the short ribs or the flanken.
I put some of the flanken in and
And
some
now-
piece of chicken.
This is the strained soup.
This is the string. See how clear it is?
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
that beautiful?
Now, is this going to be sweet? I'll tell you in
Anyway.
a minute.
That's not the way my family eats it.
Okay,
When I'm your sous chef, we'll make it sweet.
okay.
All right, but the parsnip will give it a little bit of a sweet flavor.
All right. So this is
Okay.
our chicken
Chicken
soup.
soup.
All right.
And oh, is that good?
Oh,
Excuse me.
well, let me try the matzo ball.
And let me just tell you that if you make it a day ahead of time, you can stick it in the refrigerator, and the fat will all rise to the top, and we can just cut that right off.
Refrigerator or freezer?
Refrigerator.
Refrigerator.
Yes, as soon as it gets cold, it'll start to gel, and that's how you know the bones gave it this nice body that it's starting to gel, and we could just cut this fat right off.
It's delicious.
Enjoy.